So one more video on glaciers in Rocky Mountain National Park. And I really do like glaciers and glaciated terrains, hence why I have so many videos on them, despite being a structural geologist and tectonicist. But we're at the end of Moraine Park next to Eagle Cliff Mountain, and there's a couple of really neat things to see here. One of which is we're standing on the terminal moraine. The terminal moraine is the end moraine that forms at the end of a glacier, at the end of a major glacial advance. And so this is the furthest down valley moraine that formed during that glacial advance, culminating at about 20,000 years ago. But there's other end moraines as well, and we have special names for them depending on how they were formed. And one of which is recessional moraines. So once the glacier reaches its furthest extent, it forms a special kind of end moraine we call the terminal moraine, which we're on. And then as it retreats, sometimes it pauses, and maybe has a little bit of an advance as it's overall retreating, and forms a new end moraine at that point. And those are called recessional moraines. And we can see a recessional moraine that has some of the big boulders right off in the distance there. Now, there's a couple other neat things to look at here. One of which is we do get a sense that Moraine Park leads up into a U-shaped valley. And glaciated valleys typically have a U-shape. Because the U-shaped valley isn't abundantly clear when looking up Moraine Park, I thought I'd show you this image of Glacier Gorge, which is northwest of Longs Peak, where the U-shaped is quite evident. We use that criteria to distinguish it from valleys that have only been formed by stream erosion, and they tend to have very steep sides and be V-shaped. This image here is of the North Fork of the Big Thompson, and I think you get a sense of the V-shape that this valley has, as this valley has only been carved by the stream that resides in it, in contrast to valleys that have been glaciated. Now, this U-shaped valley, we have moraines on both sides, but it also has a very flat bottom. And that's used as partial evidence to suggest that there used to be a moraine-dammed lake here. And so the moraines, we have the lateral moraines on both sides, the terminal moraine here, wrapped all the way around, which created a nice basin for a lake to form in. And so that explains why we have this flat topography out here in Moraine Park, because there used to be a lake there, and there's lake sediments deposited in the base of Moraine Park. And then over time, the stream slowly breached the terminal moraine, and now we have an outlet, and there's actually a little bit of a waterfall area just over there.